Welcome back to 3 Paws Art. Anyway, before we get started, I gotta tell you, I never realized until today how hard it was to make a video intro. I've probably done, I don't know, 20 or 30 takes of this intro video. Yeah, and it's just been driving me crazy. But anyway, hopefully I'll get better with time. That being said, today we're going to be working on an 8-inch wooden heart that I picked up at Michael's. Valentine's Day is coming in a week, so I really got to get my button gear here. So we're going to be working on that heart, and we're going to be using some pretty reds and pinks and golds, and probably incorporating a little bit of shimmer with my TLPs. And yeah, so without any further delay, let's paint. Okay, so now that we're down on our canvas, so to speak, before we do our heart, we're gonna do a tile. But before I do that, I'm also gonna show you what colors I'm working with. So today, what we're working with the tile for Valentine's and with the heart is our Pebbio Azo Pink. It's very pretty, maybe even a little on the thick side. I'm wondering if maybe I shouldn't just thin that baby out a little bit. Okay, I don't have any varnish handy, so I'm just going to give it a little drop of water. Not enough that even covers the top. But guaranteed that's going to be more than enough to thin the consistency out to where I want it to be. Okay, next on the agenda is TLP's Fairy Floss. Oh, this is such a beautiful pigment. Bubblegum pink, I'm just loving that one. Next we have, in tune with Valentine's Day, we've got a deep red combined with Arteza's Bordeaux red. And there again, that one's just gorgeous. Then we got our interference happening, which is TLP Comet. It's a red interference, so in one way you look at it, it looks white, but at certain angles you look at it, it's a reddy gold color. And we've got the famous DecoArt 24 karat gold. Gotta use that sparingly, otherwise it likes to take over. And then to complement that one, we've got TLP's Whitehaven, which is just a beautiful shimmery white with gold undertones. And today for our pillow, we're using Color to Go. This is a pretty thick one, so it will be interesting to see how that goes. I'm just going to put a little bit on my tile this way so as not to get too much. If we put too much pillow, then we have to spin it out too much, and then we lose our composition and all the pretty stuff that ends up being on there. Okay, so put a little bit on the corners. That should be good. As you can see, I already did a tile prior to, just to be sure. And for this one, we're going to start with our TLP Fairy Floss. Or do I want to start with Fairy Floss? No, I'm not going to start with Fairy Floss. Instead, I'm going to start with my Azo Pink. This is by Pebeo, and even now it still seems a little on the thick side. Wasn't this the one I thinned down? Okay, let's try and be quick here. I don't want to keep you all day, especially since we still have our heart to do too. Now we're going to put down our fairy floss. Just a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous pink, even all by itself. Now for our Bordeaux red. Want to make sure to get enough in there, but we don't want to overdo it too much. And sending it flying. Now for our interference, which typically you want to put over a dark color. It really helps it show up. Some of our 24 karat gold. We want gold to show up without taking over the show. This is Valentine's Day. We want the pinks and the reds to take over with hints of gold. And then we've got our Whitehaven. Okay. And on top of that, I'm just going to put a touch more of our Bordeaux red just to make sure that it shows up. Okay. Today we're using a white cell activator, which includes Australian Floetrol and Amsterdam titanium white. 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. That might be too much CA, but we shall find out. I don't want to take too long, but I really got to pop those big bubbles. Okay, let's give this baby a shot. Center it up. Okay. Hopefully that works for us. So far it looks like it's not doing too bad. While we're waiting for that to come together, we're gonna get a couple more bubbles that are popping up. Get those before they ruin our design when we spin it. Looks like we're kind of going off the edge there. So let's see if we can move that puppy over a little bit. Okay. Let's give her a spin. Just a slow one to begin with. See how it's spreading out. Yeah, that looks not too bad. Gold definitely showed up. I'm glad some of it spun off though, because I don't want it taking over. That baby looks really nice. Little there, little one there. Okay, let's give her a couple good spins. Got to make sure we get most of that paint off, because if we get too much then left on there, then we're looking at it cracking. Okay, and one more spin. Oh my gosh. I think we did pretty good on this baby. She looks very, very pretty. I think colors complement Valentines very well. Sorry about the glare. That's my ring light. Be careful I don't drop it. Okay, I'm gonna put her away, and then I'm gonna grab the heart. Okay, so now we've got the heart. Maybe I should clean this off just a little bit. I'm just gonna scrape it off here. Normally I would actually scrape it off into a bucket and then strain it and reuse it as pillow paint for practice projects. But at the same time, when I'm recording, I don't really have time to do that. So for now, okay, this is our heart. Nice little 8-inch wooden heart. Got this guy from Michael's. So let's see what we can do with this. I've never worked with this shape before. It's something new in my agenda. Let's give it a shot. Sorry about rubbing the gloves. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm not sure what to do on this one. Gosh, this pillow paint is pretty thick. I think I'm just gonna mix a little bit of US Floetrol in there just to help thin it out a little bit. It's pretty thick. Just a little squirt. Not lots. I don't want to stir too vigorously because I don't want to incorporate a whole bunch of air bubbles, because those are never nice in your end result. I've done a good job creating some air bubbles, but hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I think, is put a little bit of pillow kind of everywhere. I'm not sure, did I see a loop there? Sorry, my voice is a little bit crackly today. Not really sure why. I definitely saw a bloop there. And I think I have far too much pillow paint, but we'll give it a shot and see. Okay, let's take our skewer through there and just make sure we didn't have any bloops. Don't want bloops in there either, that kind of makes a mess of things. Color to Go can be famous for their bloops. They're just sample paints that you get from Sherwin Williams. And that looks pretty good. Okay. So let's just, oops. That's something on my glove. Doesn't sound good. I'm trying to clean my hands a little bit. Okay, so what's the plan here? I'm just wondering if maybe instead of doing one big bloom, I should do maybe 3 multiples. That might work for us. Let's see what's happening here. Maybe we will try a big one. Need a little more paint though. We got a little more surface to cover than a tile. This is a little intimidating. I haven't gone quite this big in a long time, and I've only ever done one or two bigger ones. So there's my fairy floss. Get a good amount on there because we love that color. Now for our Bordeaux red. Well, I love that tile we did. If this heart turns out even remotely close to that, yes, that'll be excellent. I thickened up my paints just before we started and thinking that maybe I might have thickened them up just a little too much this time. Okay. That was our TLP Comet, our interference. Now we got our 24 karat gold. Whoops. And then we've got our Whitehaven. And then we're going to top it off with a little bit more of that Bordeaux red. Just because. It's very yummy looking. Bring that down just a hint. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Now we're ready to go. No, we're not. Let's take care of those air bubbles before we get our CA on there this time. Okay, that might be good. Okay, and let's do our CA. Let's make sure we get enough. Let's move this down just some. Look at that, air bubbles right in the middle, in the center. That will not do us any good. A little bit more just because we have a bigger surface. And let's do this. Oh my gosh. That spins out good and we get everything covered. That's gonna look absolutely amazing. I'm excited about this. I love these colors. Didn't have any bloops in my paint, which was nice. Bloop. Okay, I think we're ready to spin. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Oops, let's cover our sides. Okay. Let's just spin her out slowly to begin with. Oh, we've definitely got good coverage. Ooh, I love how the red is smack dab in the center. Looks like I used a little too much pillow paint though, which I kind of thought so. Let's just center it a little bit. Bring the weight of the paint back. Good, and we'll give it another spin. There goes my extra pillow paint. Oh man, that is just utterly gorgeous. Yeah, I still got a little bit more spinning to do. Give that a couple more spins. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape off most of this excess paint, one, so that we can actually see our heart, and secondly, so that I have a better idea how much paint is actually coming off of the heart, because that'll help me to determine whether or not I need to continue spinning. Looking good. I think we are just about there. Oh, I love that Bordeaux red in the center. And then we've got the fairy floss and the azo paint shining through over here. We've got gold going through various areas without taking over. The Whitehaven is peeking through in spots as well. I think the only thing I don't really like is this white line that just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So let's just play with that a little so that it has somewhere to go. And this one too. Okay. One more spin and we should be done. Okay, well that was a little bit stressful, and it was fun, and I learned some things about my pillow paint because that's the first time I've ever used the color to go white, and yeah, and then how thick my colors need to be, and I'll tell you, it turned out just absolutely amazing, at least from my perspective. Okay, let's get that up so that I can give you guys a little bit closer view. I did tape the back, so no, there won't be a bunch of tape or a bunch of paint on the back. And so this is our end result. I can't see what I'm showing you, but I know that's the bottom end. There we go. I don't know if I can pull it back far enough for you to see the whole thing. Anyway, there we go. There is our Valentine's heart. And it should be ready to maybe varnish, hopefully before Valentine's Day, so that I can give it to my something special. Anyway, thanks for joining me. And yeah, come back again. I really enjoy the company. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay, so this is the wet results of the tile that we just did. Turned out absolutely beautiful. The cells are nice and uniform. All of the colors that we used are coming through. The gold shimmer, just, oh, I don't know what to think about that. It's just amazing. I don't normally go for reds, but because it's Valentine's Day, I thought I would give this a shot, and I'm pretty happy that I did. Anyway, that is our wet results of our tile. Just stay put for a second and we will have the wet results of our heart. Okay, so here's the wet results of our heart. Overall, it looks pretty good. I love the colors. The cells turned out pretty good, and the lacing. The shimmer of the gold, it's there, but it doesn't take over, which is nice. All the colors that we used are peeking through. I'm pretty happy with it for a first shot. Thickening up my paints really helped, I think. Anyway, that's the wet results of the heart.